Hey you guys, what's up? In today's video, I'm going to be doing another ranking video. I have not done one of these videos on my channel yet, but today's ranking video is going to be a ranking where I'm going to be rating new purchases. So I'm going to be ranking these makeup items from worst to best. I'm going to tell you a little bit about each of the products and tell you guys why I like them or don't like them. There are some pretty popular new releases in today's ranking video, so I hope you guys are all excited about today's video. If you are, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the ranking. I'm gonna be starting with the worst products. I do have 14 different items that I'm gonna be ranking today. And starting at number 14, we have the most recent review that I've done, and it is the PUR Push Up 4-in-1 Concealer. This was my last video, but I have been using this for the past week since I tried it out, and honestly, I hate this concealer. Like, I don't like it at all. If you guys want like a super in-depth review, make sure to watch my last video where I do like a demo and talk a little bit about this concealer. This concealer does not work on top of anything. No matter what I put on my face, whether it's moisturizer, primer, I've used several different primers and I just can't get it to work. If I have anything on the skin at all, it immediately starts getting patchy and does not blend, and it looks cakey and just horrible. And I do have texture underneath the eyes. I do have wrinkles underneath the eyes. I'm nearing 30, so obviously I don't have like the youngest looking skin, and this does not work for my under eyes at all. I have to use an eye cream or a moisturizer on my under eyes because they are very dry, and I can't do that with this concealer, and I don't have that problem with any other concealers. I normally like slather on moisturizers and eye creams, and I can go in with concealers and not have any issues. I really wanted to love this concealer, but I just don't. Whenever you don't have anything on your skin and you just have like dry skin, it does look nice, but I cannot wear this concealer like that. And the biggest thing for me with this concealer is that it claims to be a full coverage concealer. I think it's a medium to full coverage. It's not. Like, to me, this is a light coverage concealer. It does not cover my dark circles. I don't have that big of dark circles. Like, they're not my major issue. My major issue under my eyes is more my like fine lines and wrinkles, but this does not cover my dark circles. So if you have like really dark circles, this is not going to work at all. So yeah, I really wanted to love this. I really like PUR's products, but this one was a major fail for me. And yeah, I just really don't like it. Like, it's so bad that I want to return it, and I never return makeup items. Like, whenever I get a bad product, I normally just like keep it and then keep trying to make it work in another way. But this one is so bad that I really just want to return both of the shades that I bought. And yeah, I don't usually return makeup items, but that's how much I don't like this concealer. So next up we have a highlighter, and this was from the ColourPop Valentine's Day collection. This is the Soul Body Highlighter in the shade Pink Truffle. So my highlighter did get sent to me broken. That is why the pan is looking like super rough. But this is towards the bottom of my list because, I don't know, I'm just not a big fan of like pink highlighters. So I just haven't found myself really reaching for it. I do think this is a pretty shade of pink. It is like an icy pink highlighter, which I do think is really pretty, but I just don't see myself using this very much in the future. That's why I did have it towards the bottom of my list. And you know, these Soul Body highlighters are really pretty. They have a nice formula. They're not like a chunky glitter highlighter, and they're super like blinding metallic, that kind of like wet looking highlighter. So I love the formula, but the shade is just not my favorite. That is why this is towards the bottom of my list. And I have heard that a lot of people's highlighters from the Valentine's collection, like this one specifically, came to them broken. So I don't know what the deal is with these Valentine's highlighters, but apparently a lot of people's came broken. Next up we have another item from the ColourPop Valentine's Day collection, and it is one of the heart blushes. I was so excited whenever I got this in PR because I thought these heart blushes were so cute. The red one, the shade Love Me Not, which apparently mine is like not correct on the label. It says Love Me Not, like with a B. Like, there's no way that's a V. When I did my review video, I feel like people commented on my video and were like, the name is Love Me Not, not Love Me Not. But mine says Love Me Not, and I feel like that is not the first time that I've gotten a product from ColourPop in PR, and like there's a spelling error or the name is different like when they actually sell it. So I don't know what the deal is with that, but it's not the first time. And this heart shape blush is so cute. I love the packaging, but for some reason my red blush is so hard to open. Like, I have such a hard time opening this. Like, something is wrong with this specific packaging on this shade that I have because it's so hard to open. but it is a pretty like rosy toned blush. The shade is not my favorite out of the 3 in the Valentine's Day collection. That is why this one is lower on my list, but the formula is really good. It is a pretty color. These don't have too much pigmentation, so you don't have to be like too careful with them. I personally don't like blushes that have like a crazy amount of pigmentation because they can be hard to blend out, but these have the perfect amount of pigmentation and they blend out so nicely. But yeah, this shade was not my favorite. I'm kind of bothered that mine has the wrong shade name on it as well, and my packaging is so hard to open. So that is why this one is lower on my list. Coming in at number 11, I should have been counting down. I always forget to do the numbers every time I'm filming these videos. We have another ColourPop Valentine's Day blush. This is the pink blush in the shade My Type. So once again, I love the formula of these heart blushes. I think they're great. I love the pigmentation on these. This one, I don't have any issues opening and closing. Like, it opens and closes really easily. The reason this one is lower on my list as well is because the shade is not my favorite. I prefer a more like peachy or like beige type of blush. This one is very pink. I do think it's really pretty, but this is not something that I reach for often. So that is why it's lower on the list, but I don't have any real issues with this blush. It's just the shade. So yeah, I really like these blushes a lot. Just those 2 shades are not my favorite out of the 3. The next item in my ranking is a foundation. I'm not sure if this is actually a foundation. I think it's more of like a tinted moisturizer, and this is from Urban Decay. This is their Hydromaniac Glow Hydrator. This has this medium coverage and it wears up to 24 hours. So I did get sent this in PR, and they did send me the shade Light 30. And the reason this is number 10 on my list and not higher is because the shade is just not like good for me. It's a little bit too deep. I can only wear this when I'm self-tanned, and even then it's a little bit too deep. So there's nothing actually really wrong with the formula at all. I just haven't been able to wear this very often because of these shades. So I'm thinking about picking up a lighter shade in this because I've heard really good things about it. And the few times that I've tried it, I've really liked the formula. It looks beautiful on the skin. It's definitely very hydrating. I haven't had any issues with the wear of this. I haven't worn it long enough to tell you whether or not this is like a 24-hour wear foundation, but I never wear any kind of face products that long, so that wouldn't even really like matter to me. But it says it gives you 24-hour hydration. I need all the hydration I can get. I feel like the older that I'm getting, the more dry my skin is becoming. So I have been really into hydrating products. I do like this product, but it is just a little bit lower because of the shade, which is not like anything wrong with the actual product. I just need to pick up a lighter shade in this. But the times that I have tried it, I've really enjoyed it, and I do think it's a good formula, and I really like the packaging of this. I feel like you can get like the perfect amount. It's a squeezy tube, and not too much comes out because it has a really small hole in the top, which makes it very easy to just get like a little bit out and blend beautifully over the skin. You definitely don't need a lot of product with this one. So yeah, I've been really enjoying it the few times that I have tried this, but I haven't been reaching for it too much lately because I haven't tanned in a while. But when I was self-tanned, I was wearing this more often. So the 9th product in my ranking is the Anastasia Iced Out Highlighter. I have an entire review video on this highlighter. I'll have it up in the cards if you guys want to watch that. But I have been actually really enjoying this highlighter. I am wearing it right now. I do have it mixed in with another highlighter, but it is mainly the highlighter that I'm wearing today. This is kind of just like in the middle of my list. It's a little bit towards the bottom, I guess, just because this wasn't exactly what I expected. I expected an icy highlighter, and this is more of a gold highlighter, so that is why I haven't been reaching for it that often. Don't get me wrong, I love gold and champagne highlighters, but this one is just a little bit darker than I was imagining it to be. This is supposed to work for all skin tones, which I can definitely see it working for everyone, but for me personally, I really like an icy, like light highlighter, and this one's just not as light as I would prefer for myself, but it is a really pretty highlighter. It is a very smooth highlighter. It doesn't have any kind of chunky glitter or anything like that. It looks very pretty on the skin. It's just not what I was expecting. But yeah, it is a really pretty highlighter. I love the packaging. Like, just looking at this highlighter, it's so beautiful in the pan. I just haven't been reaching for it as often as I do some other highlighters because it is just not as like icy and light as I usually prefer for a highlighter, but it is a really pretty shade and I do like the formula a lot. Coming in at number 8, we have the Natasha Denona Love Cheek Duo. I've actually really been enjoying this a lot. I just haven't been reaching for it once again that much lately because the highlighter shade is a little bit deep for me right now because I am not self-tan, but I love both the highlighter and then the cream blush in here. I like the cream blush more than I like the highlighter just because the highlighter shade is a little bit deep, as I said, for me personally. But the quality of this is so good, you guys. The only reason it's number 8 and not higher on my list is because of these shades being a little bit deep for me right now. Once again, if you are like super fair, this probably won't work for you, like the highlight shade. might not work for you, but the blush is so good. I am like so obsessed with the packaging of this. Like, it's super heavy and I love the falling glitter in here. But yeah, I really love both of these shades in here, but if I'm being honest, in my ranking, I haven't been using this as much as some of my other items, even though I do really love this. I think the quality is so good. It's definitely worth the price. The cream blush blends out beautifully and it's very pigmented, but you can blend it out and it just looks so like perfect on the skin. And then I do really love the highlighter only when I am self-tanned. When I'm not, it doesn't really work for me. It kind of just looks like a line on my cheek. And this one is a little bit more of a pink highlighter, so it's not my favorite type of shade, but I do love that it's kind of like a pink and gold highlighter, so I do prefer this one a little bit more than, for example, like the Soul Body highlighter, which is just like a pink highlight. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this, but it is just a little bit lower because of these shades, and I haven't been reaching for it as much as I was when I was self-tan, but I'd highly recommend this. It's such a good product. I'm not sure if this is limited edition or not, but I will have it linked in my description box below if it is still available. So next up we have another foundation. This is another foundation that I did do a dedicated review on, so make sure you guys go and watch that if you haven't seen it already. It is the foundation that I am wearing right now, and this one is just lower on my list because I don't like this one as much as some of the other ones that I'm going to show you guys towards like the top of the list, and it is the Morphe Filter Effect Soft Focus Foundation. So I definitely think that this foundation lives up to its claims. This is a medium to full coverage foundation. It gives you a beautiful natural finish on the skin. I really like the coverage of this. I love the way that it looks on the skin. My problem with this foundation is that I don't like the way that this wears throughout the day as much as I do with some of the other foundations that I'm going to show you guys in a minute. I feel like this one just doesn't fade off the face very nicely. I feel like it gets kind of patchy and looks a little bit strange when you've been wearing it for a while. And this is supposed to be like a long wearing foundation. I believe this is supposed to be a 16-hour wear foundation. I don't see it on the bottle, but this is supposed to be like a hydrating foundation that's really good for your skin, which I do agree with. But in my opinion, it's not long wearing, but I actually really love the way that this looks. My only issue is that I don't like how it looks like after a long period of time. That is why this one is lower on the list. I do think it's a really good foundation for the price, but you can get better foundations if you spend just a little bit more money, which is why this one is lower on my list. But it is a good foundation. I would still recommend it, but just don't expect this to last a really long time. It does look beautiful on the skin, but after a while it can start to look just a little bit strange. So coming in at number 6, we have a face palette. This is the BH Cosmetics BFF Snatched Face Palette. This palette has a highlighter, a blush, and 2 shades that can be used as either a bronzer or contour. I have been really loving this palette a lot. These shades have amazing pigmentation. Like, they are so good. Like, the highlighter is super blinding. Let me show you guys a swatch of this highlight shade. Like, look at that. Are you serious? And those are terrible swatches, but they are the blush and bronzer shades. But yeah, I have been using this a ton since I got it. I've been kind of like alternating this palette or using it with one of the other face palettes that I'm going to show you guys in this ranking video as well, which the other one I do like a little bit more, but this one is so much cheaper than the other one in this ranking, and the quality is so good. You guys know that I love BH Cosmetics, and I think this face palette is amazing quality. You do have to be careful with these 3 shades though, because they are so pigmented, so a little goes a long way. When you dip your brush in, there is a little bit of like kickback in the pan, but for me personally, I don't mind that. And this highlighter is beautiful. It is a little bit more pink tone than I would prefer, but it is a very blinding, like wet looking highlight. It is beautiful. So yeah, I have been really enjoying this face palette a lot. Make sure you guys go and watch my review on the BFF collection where I try out this face palette and then the eyeshadow palette as well. I'm actually wearing the BFF eyeshadow palette on my eyes right now. So coming in at number 5, we have the last ColourPop Valentine's Day blush. This is the shade Kiss and Tell. This blush is obviously my favorite out of the ColourPop heart-shaped blushes. I love the shade of this. This is like the perfect shade for every day. As I said earlier, the pigmentation is perfect. There's not too much pigment where it goes on like super crazy. I feel like you can build this up and it looks beautiful on the cheeks. So yeah, I have been really loving this blush a lot. This is like my most used blush out of all of the ones that I've shown you guys so far in my ranking video. So yeah, I've been really enjoying this one a lot. Hopefully you guys can still get your hands on these. I know some of the Valentine's Day collection is still in stock right now on ColourPop's website, but I'm not sure if they're going to be restocking it or not, but I'll put links if anything's available. All right, you guys, at number 4, we have another foundation, and this foundation has caused a lot of controversy, especially after I did my review video. I got a lot of nasty comments on the video for this foundation. And let me just go ahead and show you guys the foundation. It is the Clinique Even Better Serum Foundation. Man, people were really mad whenever I posted the foundation review on this because I did bring up the shade range. There was a lot of controversy over the promotional pictures that were shared for this foundation, which is apparently what the issue was. People are saying that in real life this does have deep shades. I don't really want to get into too much of the drama, but I just felt like I, as a reviewer of makeup, had to bring up the shade range because I just feel like that's what was right. Even if it didn't affect me personally, that doesn't mean that I shouldn't bring it up and bring attention to a problem. I don't really want to get into too much on the shade range. If you guys don't know about it, you can go watch my last video, read my pinned comments because I did pin a comment there and people didn't seem to read it. But anyways, let's just get into the foundation. I love this foundation. Even though there was drama with the foundation, with the promo pics, with everything with my review video on it, I love the foundation. I think the formula of this is amazing. This has actually become one of my favorite foundations. I love the way that it looks on the skin. This has skincare benefits. It is a beautiful foundation. This has SPF in it. It wears so good on the skin. This is a weightless buildable full coverage foundation. That is definitely true. It is full coverage, but it looks so natural on the skin. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel cakey. I have been enjoying this a lot. And yeah, I just want to say that I really do love the foundation, even though my review video caused a lot of drama. So yeah, if I offended any of you guys, I'm sorry. I just felt like that was my job as a reviewer to bring it up. But yeah, I love the foundation. I really recommend this foundation. It's expensive, but it's worth it. Like, I think this foundation is so much better than the Morphe one. And they both have kind of similar claims, but the Clinique one is just so much better. All right, the product that is number 3 on my list is this. And oh my gosh, I love this so much. This is the Marc Jacobs Omega x3 face palette. I have an entire review video on this face palette where I try it out on the face and I show you guys swatches and everything, but I have been loving this so much. Specifically the bronzer and then the blush in here. I'm not a fan of this highlighter at all. I think the formula of this is just not good, but these two products make this face palette totally worth it. The bronzer and blush in this palette just go on the skin so beautifully. These have the perfect amount of pigmentation. They blend out beautifully and they last so nicely throughout the day. This is a luxury makeup item and it's very expensive. I believe this is like $50, but for me, the quality of this was worth the money. I really, really love these two shades a lot. Like, as I said, the highlighter I think is not good. But yeah, I have been using this so much since I got it and I love it. All right, we only have 2 products left and these are definitely my favorite 2 things that I've tried out in a while. So coming in at number 2, we have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude lipstick in the shade Amorosa. I have been wearing this lipstick so much since I got it. It is like the perfect nude shade. I almost didn't pick this up when I bought like the Valentine's Day collection, but I just went ahead and got it on a whim and I'm so glad I did. The formula is amazing. Like, this is an expensive lipstick, but you can definitely tell it looks so velvety on the lips. It doesn't like sink into your lip lines and it lasts a really long time. I've worn this with masks and it lasts really nicely even with a mask on. And I think this shade is like beautiful on a bunch of different skin tones and I have been obsessed with this. I don't wear lipstick that often, but I find myself reaching for this one like every single time that I want to wear a lip color, and the formula is amazing. I need to try some of her other lipsticks now, but yeah, I have been loving this one. All right, you guys, so my favorite item coming in at number 1 that I have been loving so much recently out of all of the products that I've tried is the Marc Jacobs Extra Shot Foundation and Concealer. I have been wearing this as a foundation, not a concealer, because it is a little bit deep for my under eyes. I really want to pick this up in a lighter shade. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that even though it is very expensive. But I have been using this every day, like when I go to work, and I will just take the doe foot applicator and I will just do like 1, 2, 3 dots on the face, and that's literally all you need, and I blend it out and it lasts so nicely throughout the day. This and the Clinique one definitely last the best throughout the day. The Marc Jacobs one I feel like just looks so nice even at the end of the day. I feel like once my natural oils kind of mix with this foundation, it still just looks like beautiful. I love the way that this looks on my skin. It covers blemishes. I'm not wearing this one, but I'm going to point them out anyway. I love the way that it covers my blemishes. If you just like kind of dot it on and leave it there for a minute and then blend it out, it just looks beautiful. Like it literally covers everything and you only need a little bit of product. Under the eye, I do really like it as well, but I haven't really been able to give it like a really good shot at an under eye concealer because it is a darker shade and I normally like to do my concealer like a little bit lighter to kind of brighten up my under eyes. But as a foundation, I've been loving it. And I feel like if you're someone like me who likes more of a light to medium coverage on an everyday basis, you will get a lot of use out of this. If you're someone who likes a super full coverage foundation, this probably is not going to work for you because you're going to need a lot of product. Like if you're going to dot this all over your face, you're going to run out of this, I feel like, pretty quickly because it's only like half an ounce, I'm pretty sure. I don't see how much is in here, but if you guys want all of the details, make sure to go and watch my review video on this. I talk about the size and all of that on there. But yeah, this is definitely my favorite product that I've tried out recently. I have been using this like every single day. I stopped using the Clinique and the Morphe one because I like this one so much. So yeah, those are all of the products in this ranking video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys want to see more ranking videos like this because I can definitely do that for you guys if you're interested. So yeah, that is it for today's video. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're not already. Also, make sure you have your notifications turned on. That way you don't miss out on any of my future videos. All you have to do is click the bell next to the subscribe button, and then you'll receive a notification every time I upload a new video. And I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.